Hello everybody, welcome back to another T-Boss video. I know it felt like it's been forever, but we are back right before the new year. I hope everybody's Christmas was well. And in today's video, we'll be going over how every team in the bubble right now can make the playoffs, in the NFL. So there's currently 4 teams in the bubble, 2 in the NFC, 2 in the AFC. Those teams being the Carolina Panthers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll be going over every possibility on how these teams can make the playoffs. And then in the next video, which will be coming out, today, if not tomorrow, how every team can solidify their ranking and, become the highest rank in the playoffs they can, because there is a lot of different possibilities, with Seattle playing the 49ers and all the other games in week 18. So I just ask you guys to like and subscribe, stay on the lookout for that video right there, and I guess just watch this video if you want to know on how every team in the bubble can make the playoffs. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, first we will be starting off with the Carolina Panthers, on how the Carolina Panthers can make the NFL playoffs for the first time since 2017. And they probably have the easiest route to the playoffs out of all these teams mentioned on the list. So the Carolina Panthers can make the playoffs if they just beat Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. And they did beat the Buccaneers in week 16, but that was in Carolina, and that game was a nail-biter thriller. The defense did play moderately well that whole game, and Bryce Young also played pretty well, but playing inside of the Tampa Bay Stadium, Raymond James Stadium, it could kind of flip the whole thing, because Carolina Panthers, they had a great fan base there at the game, very electric. I could tell Tampa Bay was struggling with the crowd. So with that not being the case here, since Tampa Bay is home, this game could really go either way. So let's say if Carolina loses to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they still have a shot to make the playoffs, all because the Atlanta Falcons beat the Rams on Monday Night Football. So if the Carolina Panthers lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if Atlanta Falcons beat New Orleans Saints, then the Carolina Panthers will be in the playoffs off of a tiebreaker. All these 3 teams in the NFC South will all be 8-9. Atlanta will be 8-9, Tampa Bay will be 8-9, and the Carolina Panthers will be 8-9. The Carolina Panthers would have split the matchup with Tampa Bay, both 1-1. The same thing with Tampa Bay and Atlanta, 1-1. But the Carolina Panthers swept Atlanta this year, so therefore the Carolina Panthers would win the tiebreaker and they would be in the playoffs. So like how I said, kind of the easiest path in there. I saw they have over a 70% chance to make the playoffs. So right there, the Carolina Panthers can make the playoffs once again if they beat Tampa Bay, and if they lose but Atlanta wins to New Orleans Saints. All right, so there you go. Here's kind of, just the same thing I just said, but in text format. And now we will be jumping into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a very, it's a harder way to get in. And I guess you could have kind of figured out how Tampa Bay can get in, based off of how the Panthers can get in. But, Tampa Bay needs to beat the Carolina Panthers at home, and then they also need Atlanta to lose to the New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints, they've been playing pretty good football. I mean, Tyler Shucks kind of flipped all around, and the New Orleans Saints are winning games now. And so that's going to be a very hard game for Atlanta. But they did just beat, one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the NFL, with the Los Angeles Rams. So Tampa Bay kind of is relying on Atlanta big time, because if Atlanta I mean, not relying on Atlanta. They don't want Atlanta to win. They're relying on the New Orleans Saints, kind of like what happened last week with the Ravens and the Browns. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are, probably has New Orleans Saints in their prayers saying, please get a win, please get a win, please hit extra hard. Because without the New Orleans Saints winning, kind of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just dudded out and they can't get in. So they need a win versus Carolina, and then they need the New Orleans Saints to beat the Atlanta Falcons. So, just like the same thing last time, there's kind of it in text format. And then, all right, here we go into the AFC now. And we'll be starting off with the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not really going to put them into separate segments because it's kind of self-explanatory on how they can get in. It's just as simple as Baltimore needs to beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh needs to beat Baltimore at home to win. So basically, it's whoever wins that game gets into the playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens right now are standing at a 60% chance to get in, while the Pittsburgh Steelers are standing at a 40% to get in. And I don't know. I think that game could go either way. I am not 100% sure if Lamar Jackson is clear, but we did see Tyler Huntley play decent football, but that offense was definitely carried by Derrick Henry. So Derrick Henry definitely needs to show out against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh did not play good football whatsoever. But so right there, basically 60-40 chance. Baltimore needs to win. Pittsburgh needs to win to get into the playoffs. And that will solidify the AFC playoff picture. So ladies and gentlemen, comment down below who you think out of the NFC and the AFC team will get in. Personally, I think it will be the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens getting in. And next video we will be going over how each team can solidify their seeding and basically all the different options that a team can be seeding. But if you guys want to hear more of that, tune into the next video, and I guess we'll see you guys then. Peace.